Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. At the apex of Thunder Island in the virtual universe, outside the palace surrounded by fog, Luo Feng showed up. Things are out of my control, Luo Feng said, standing in front of the palace and pondering what had happened. If I can't get out there, my treasures will get taken away. It'll be difficult to get them back. Luo Feng, said a voice. Luo Feng was dazed and turned his head. He saw someone in a golden cape standing beside the cliff. It was Primal Chaos City leader, who was overlooking Thunder Island below him. Luo Feng walked towards him and saluted. Teacher. Primal Chaos City leader glimpsed at Luo Feng and smiled. You came here to see me, but you're wandering outside the door. You told me before you were going to 9 remoteness space to find the twigs and leaves of world trees to breed your third body. What happened? Did something go wrong? Luo Feng answered respectfully. I've been following my plan with the world trees, and I hope I can get some. However, something happened to my original earthling body. Primal Chaos City leader looked at Luo Feng. My original earthling body was hiding in Rock Island, the safest place in 9 remoteness space, but I didn't expect another group of heirs to arrive. One of them was Bark Mirror Emperor. He's famous for his tracking skills, and that was how he found me. He's jealous of my true treasures, and he attacked me. Bark Mirror Emperor? Primal Chaos City leader was startled. How did you escape if he attacked you? Have you lost your true treasures to him? No. Luo Feng shook his head. I got away. You got away? Primal Chaos City leader was bewildered. Although he's only an undying fighter, he can rival a universe knight, especially with his talent technique. I have another true treasure to protect my soul, Luo Feng said. Another true treasure? Primal Chaos City leader furrowed his brow. He could infer from Luo Feng's past battles that Luo Feng's spiritual force weapon was a true treasure, but he didn't expect him to have a third true treasure that could protect his soul. Luo Feng, he said, how many true treasures do you have now? Luo Feng was a bit embarrassed. 3. Shi Wu Wing, spiritual force weapon, and a true treasure to protect my soul. Only 3. Only 3? Primal Chaos City leader said. I only had one true treasure when I was a sector lord. Count yourself lucky. Luo Feng was a bit perturbed. What if Primal Chaos City leader teacher asked him where he had obtained the other 2 true treasures? Even if you have a true treasure to protect your soul, Bark Mirror Emperor has the power of a universe knight and won't let you go that easily, said Primal Chaos City leader. Luo Feng was relieved that his teacher didn't ask where the 2 true treasures had come from. Otherwise, he would have to lie. After all, Star Tower was the biggest secret. True treasures like Star Map and Shi Wu Wing were looked down upon by lots of universe masters, who gave them to the great beings of their own races. True treasures like Skywolf Palace were desired by universe masters, and true treasures like Thousand Treasure River were craved for by universe masters. As for the top-tier ones like Star Map, they would send the races of the universe into a frenzy. Even by the most powerful beings in the universe longed for them, just like 5-color Aurora Lake, which protected the greatest power in the universe. Luo Feng knew that the secret of Star Tower could not be exposed before he could fully control it. Otherwise, no matter how many people were on his side, he wouldn't be able to stop the mad desire of the other great beings. Theoretically, I wouldn't have gotten away, said Luo Feng. However, he was chasing me in the 9 remoteness space. I found the 9 remoteness whirlpool and thought it would be difficult to get the true treasures back if they fell into the hands of Bark Mirror Emperor. Although the 9 remoteness whirlpool is famously hazardous, I figured I wouldn't die instantly, at least, so I dove into the whirlpool. He paused for a moment. 9 remoteness whirlpool was kind of similar to a wormhole. I went to another world. A group of special organisms live there, all of whom are tall and red with bloody horns. There are hundreds of undying fighters of another race guarding the entry point. Luckily, I managed to escape. I think there will be more great beings coming after me, and I can neither teleport nor cast God country transportation in that world. The only thing I can do is to stall. The sky and land there are enormous, so I might be able to avoid detection for a while. Primal Chaos City leader nodded his head mildly. You did the right thing. Bark Mirror Emperor comes from the Northern Territory Alliance, and their behavior has been tyrannical. You won't get your belongings back if you lose them to them. Luo Feng began to sweat. Tower Pearl was connected to the most vital things. Although it was unlikely that Bark Mirror Emperor would recognize that, Star Tower would acknowledge someone as its master only after the Tower Pearl merged with that creature's soul, which was why it had to be protected at all costs. Luo Feng looked at Primal Chaos City leader. What should I do now? Haha. Are you asking a favor now? Said Primal Chaos City leader, a smile on his face. I've never been to the Ancestral God's secret region, and I know little about it, but I know some of the most terrifying beings in the Ancestral God's secret regions who can roam the universe. What are the universe coordinates of this strange land? Below 9 Remoteness Ocean, Luo Feng said. Primal Chaos City leader nodded. Then I've guessed correctly. I can only sense the keepsake you left there, and it's being interfered with by that realm. There are only a few beings in the universe that are capable of doing that. Luo Feng was startled. That was the saving object his teacher had given to him, and it was used to call for help from his teacher in a crucial moment. I've never been to 9 Remoteness Space, but I know the master of 9 Remoteness Space is called 9 Remoteness Master, said Primal Chaos City leader. The sky and land you're currently in is his home. 9 Remoteness Master. Luo Feng blinked his eyes. That's right. He's a universe master. Of course, you mustn't compare him with Master of Skywolf. 9 Remoteness Master is at least as powerful as me. Luo Feng was shocked. At least as powerful as his teacher. Primal Chaos City leader had 3 bodies, and all of which were incredibly powerful. To think that 9 Remoteness Master was his teacher's equal. 9 Remoteness Master can roam the universe, and almost no one is his better. Primal Chaos City leader continued. Even the Ancestral God School treats him with respect, and the 3 Ancestral Gods are friends with him. 9 Remoteness Master deals with things that they and the Beast Gods find tricky. Luo Feng listened carefully. He is mighty, Primal Chaos City leader said. Especially in 9 Remoteness Space, his home. There, he is invincible, and no one in the universe can possibly defeat him. Luo Feng opened his eyes wide. There was no need for his teacher to lie to him. Everybody said Primal Chaos City leader was unbeatable while within the Primal universe. Little did they know that 9 Remoteness Master was also undefeatable while in 9 Remoteness Space. In 9 Remoteness Space, he can realize his full potential, Primal Chaos City leader explained. The most powerful world tree and some other beings that have the power of universe masters as long as they live in 9 Remoteness Space, they all serve 9 Remoteness Master. That's why other supreme beings of the universe are reluctant to go there. They are at a disadvantage in 9 Remoteness Space. I also don't want to go to that place. Undying Fighters and Universe Knights are willing to venture there for a chance to acquire some valuables, but real Universe Masters are not. 9 Remoteness Master is always ruthless. It's difficult for him to kill a Universe Master in other places, but in his 9 Remoteness Space, it's easy for him to do so. Luo Feng was amazed. He had never expected such a supreme being to be hidden in 9 Remoteness Space. The heirs throughout history only knew basic facts of that realm. They were not strong enough to make this supreme being show himself. He's invincible, Luo Feng said, thinking about his destiny. Teacher is invincible in the Primal universe, and 9 Remoteness Master is invincible in 9 Remoteness Space. Can I be like them, undefeatable in the universe, someday in the future? They were only invincible in certain places, but it was a tempting thought. As long as they placed one of their bodies in that place, they were immortal. Primal Chaos City leader did not answer but said, 9 Remoteness Master is my equal, and we have cooperated several times. Besides, he owes me a favor. Owes you a favor? Luo Feng said. If you really run into danger and can't manage to escape, Primal Chaos City leader said, looking at Luo Feng, shout out, 9 Remoteness Space, I'm a disciple of chaos. 9 Remoteness Master controls 9 Remoteness Space completely. Nothing that happens there can be hidden from him. He'll know when you shout out. No matter what kind of danger you're in, he'll make sure you're safe. Luo Feng understood. I only ask that you don't cash in that favor if you don't need to, Primal Chaos City leader said. Do it only if there's literally nothing else you can do. Luo Feng was moved, and he nodded. I understand. Returning a favor was no easy matter. A supreme being like 9 Remoteness Master owing a favor. This was so rare that it was as worthy of a true treasure. If you do shout out, you can request that he do something for you, Primal Chaos City leader said. For instance, you can tell him that you want the leaves and twigs of that sector Lord-level world tree. He'll say yes to this kind of request. But remember, such a favor will not be easy to return. I understand. Luo Feng nodded solemnly. He still had Mosha body, which at least gave him a small chance of escape. He wouldn't cash in the favor unless he was at an impasse. Primal Chaos City leader smiled and said, go. Yes, teacher. Luo Feng saluted the leader and disappeared. In a world permeated with blood-red mist. I didn't expect the entire 9 remoteness space to belong to 9 remoteness master, Luo Feng thought, hiding in the grass. 9 remoteness master is invincible here. Is it because this special environment helps with his amplification? Luo Feng pondered the possibilities. This was all far beyond his understanding. He muttered. Why are they looking for me? Luo Feng connected to World of Glory with his mind. In the open-air square of World of Glory, all the heirs looked to Luo Feng, who had just shown up. Look, it's Blade River Emperor. Blade River Emperor showed up. He's incredible. It's difficult to kill him with his talent clone technique. Luo Feng felt a bit awkward being stared at like this. Why are they all staring at me? These heirs were all peerless talents, and his 620,000 battles were things of the past. He had entered the World of Glory plenty of times before, but only a small portion of the heirs noticed him then. Now, everyone was staring at him as if he were a treasure to be claimed. Blade River. Xiache Man Emperor yelled from a corner. Luo Feng walked toward him, attracting attention everywhere he walked. All the heirs were speaking in low voices while staring at him. He was further perplexed. Blade River Emperor, do you still have your true treasure, the wings? A voice called out. Luo Feng glanced at the heirs from other races. Many were grinning and shouting at him. They were from Northern Territory Alliance, and their faces, covered with cuticles, disgusted Luo Feng. Luo Feng sat down at the table with Xiache Man Emperor, Lili Emperor, and Thousand Rain Emperor, all of whom were his closest allies among the heirs from Hong Alliance. What's going on? He asked. Xiache Man Emperor blocked the sound around them and started to whisper. Blade River, I heard you were hunted by Bark Mirror Emperor and got trapped in 9 remoteness whirlpool. Is that true? Luo Feng was shocked. He'd only been trapped there for a short while. The news had spread quickly. So it's true? Thousand Rain Emperor asked, surmising the truth from the expression on Luo Feng's face. Luo Feng nodded. Yes. There was no need to hide the truth if everyone already knew. You're really trapped in the 9 remoteness whirlpool? Thousand Rain Emperor continued. That place. Even a universe knight is unlikely to survive there. Lili Emperor and Xiache Man Emperor, who sat beside him, gazed worriedly at Luo Feng. Xiache Man Emperor added, they say you were hunted, and your true treasure, the set of wings, was left in that dangerous place. Where did you guys hear this? Luo Feng couldn't help asking. The heirs are talking about it in the square, Xiache Man Emperor answered, and after a short while, everyone knew. I heard you were chased by Bark Mirror Emperor and you resorted to diving into the 9 remoteness whirlpool. Did you really die in the 9 remoteness whirlpool? Lili Emperor asked. Many heirs presumed that Luo Feng had already died once and had resurrected himself using his clone technique, leaving his true treasure abandoned there. Luo Feng shook his head. I was trapped in the 9 remoteness whirlpool, but I didn't die immediately. I unintentionally entered a dangerous world, and I'm still there, just struggling to survive. It seems you guys knew about it immediately after I got trapped. Word spread pretty quickly. It must have been here Crow Knight or Bark Mirror Emperor or their sidekicks who had spread the news. Where did the 9 remoteness whirlpool lead? Asked Xiache Man Emperor. How dangerous is it? Lili Emperor asked. Thousand Rain Emperor just stared at Luo Feng. This was classified information. Secrets about this place were considered invaluable intelligence that should not be leaked. Only information about places that could be easily discovered by the heirs was made public. It's dangerous, said Luo Feng. Highly dangerous. Luo Feng summarized the bloody horned universe knight who had chased Bark Mirror Emperor. I can't teleport or use God country transportation there, he said in a low voice. Also, there are hordes of great beings. I'm still struggling. Chances are, I won't make it out. No teleportation and no God country transportation? Xiache Man Emperor, Lili Emperor and Thousand Rain Emperor were stupefied. Isn't that a world of sealing treasure? Xiache Man Emperor said. Luo Feng sighed. There was no way out. Even he didn't die, it would be tragic for a great being to be trapped in an alternate world for an eternity. I can't talk with you guys for long. I need to run for my life. And with that, Luo Feng disappeared. Xiache Man Emperor, Lili Emperor, and Thousand Rain Emperor all committed the secret of the 9 remoteness whirlpool to memory. This was no ordinary intelligence. Luo Feng wouldn't have told them if he were not close to them. While Luo Feng was running through that world, trying to flee from the creatures as quickly as possible, Everyone was talking about him in the world of glory. When Bark Mirror Emperor arrived in the open-air square, they stared at him just as they had stared at Luo Feng. Immediately, heirs began approaching him and asking questions. Bark Mirror Emperor. It's Bark Mirror Emperor. Bark Mirror Emperor, I heard that you chased Blade River Emperor, and he got trapped in 9 remoteness whirlpool. Is that true? Humph. Bark Mirror Emperor snorted. Without saying anything, he walked to the place where heirs from Northern Territory Alliance gathered. He had planned to adventure in 9 remoteness space after failing to take Blade River Emperor's true treasures, but he had received an email from his friends suddenly and realized the news of him chasing Blade River Emperor had been spread through the world of glory. Damn it, said Bark Mirror Emperor. It's either Here Crow Knight or those other 5 bastards. But those 5 don't have the guts to do that. It must be Here Crow Knight who's telling everyone the news. He's not stupid, though, thought Bark Mirror Emperor. Blade River Emperor owning a sole true treasure is new information. He's smart enough not to spread that information. Bark Mirror Emperor sat down with the group of Northern Territory Alliance heirs. He glanced at the heirs around him. I know everyone's curious about this, said Bark Mirror Emperor. He smirked. I have no idea who spread this news, but it's true. Blade River Emperor indeed dove into the 9 remoteness whirlpool after I ran after him. Haha. Even Universe Knights find it difficult to survive in the 9 remoteness whirlpool. Even though Blade River Emperor has a clone technique, his true treasures will be lost there. Bark Mirror Emperor was bold enough to admit everything without being questioned. 6 days later. On Borhinia Island sat palaces of all kinds. Hong. A sudden, powerful force from the origin law shook Borhinia Island. Lots of heirs on Borhinia Island gathered and looked at the center of the origin law energy, the palace of True Yang Emperor. A 5-colored whirlpool came into being above the palace. Gold, wood, water, fire, and ground, all the 5 law forces merged and led to a nobler, more vigorous origin law energy, which was the center of the 5-colored whirlpool. After that, it turned hollow like a mystical portal connecting to the land of origin. Immense godly energy entered the palace of True Yang Emperor. All the figures flew up in the sky over Borhinia Island, watching the scene, thrilled and envious. Who made their breakthrough? Space law. Who fully comprehended space law and became a universe knight? More than 100 million heirs were stuck in that step, craving for that day to come for them. Whose palace is that? I don't know. Me neither. Who became a universe knight? Don't know. Only a few of the heirs knew. Even most of the members of the Hong Alliance had no idea. It was Cha Man Emperor who said, that palace is right next to Blade River Emperor's. That's the other heir of our human race. 2 heirs came last time. One is Blade River Emperor. The other is True Yang Emperor. True Yang Emperor? True Yang Emperor became a universe knight? Lots of heirs within the Hong Alliance were astonished. True Yang Emperor has been stuck in the last step forever. Now that he finally made his breakthrough, we must visit and congratulate him. No need to rush. It's a crucial time for True Yang Emperor. He's surely absorbing godly power now. He can't waste any time. On the way to becoming a great being, the 3 most significant milestones were becoming an undying fighter, becoming a universe knight, and becoming a universe master. At those crucial times, and universe origin law would arrive, especially the first time when an ordinary body turned into a godly body. It could take in as much godly power as it wanted. When someone became a universe knight or a universe master, he couldn't absorb that much godly power, but it was considerably more than usual. When the origin law arrived, it connected to the law ocean, and energy could be soaked up without boundaries. Unfortunately, origin law would only stay for a while and would disappear afterward, which was why there was only a short window to absorb the godly power. After a moment, all the ripple dissipated, and some of the heirs and even universe knights went to visit True Yang Emperor. Gya. The door opened. True Yang Knight looked outside with a big smile. Haha. Come on in. Congratulations, True Yang Emperor. No, excuse me, True Yang Knight. Congratulations, True Yang, you're officially a universe knight. Unlike Luo Feng, True Yang Emperor had many more friends, and lots of universe knights were close to True Yang Emperor. Finally, after such a long time, I'm a universe knight, True Yang Knight said, nodding. He didn't look apathetic anymore. Instead, he looked vigorous. How much godly power did you take in? I tried my best to absorb as much as I could just now, said True Yang Knight. My godly body was improved by 92%. Not 100%. We humans have smaller bodies and don't have much undying power. You should have grasped the chance and improve 100%. The larger a body was, the more difficult it was to improve it 100%. In the case of the enormous world trees, if they became universe knights, they could take in more godly power than True Yang Emperor in a short period of time, but compared to their sizes, it was nothing. They would need to cultivate for a long time after that. True Yang Knight's genes evolved tenfold before. After becoming a universe knight, his godly body's limit is higher. Storing 92% is good enough. True Yang Knight was talking with other great beings, but he was also confused to note that his disciple Luo Feng hadn't come to congratulate him on becoming a universe knight. In True Yang's palace, all the other great beings were warm and cheerful. It was to be on good terms with a universe knight. And the other universe knights in the Hong Alliance were pretty close with True Yang. Why? Because not all universe knights were the same. Those who had evolved from pinnacle emperors were completely different from universe knights who had evolved from invincible emperors. There were two kinds of invincible emperors. Silver I represented the first type. He had a high life level. Thus, it was easy for him to become an invincible emperor. True Yang Emperor represented the second type. He was at an average level within his race and struggled to improve his genes. They were blessed if they could improve it 10 times. How difficult it was for them to become invincible emperors. They had to first survive universe knights. This path required some distinctive special skills. Both of them had great combat power after becoming universe knights. A warrior of the first type had a great godly body after turning into a universe knight. As for the second type, if one could survive universe knight attacks when they were only an undying fighter, how mighty would they be after becoming a universe knight? Eventually, all the guests left except for Wu Tang Knight. Wu Tang Knight and True Yang Knight had been close friends for a long time, even remaining close after Wu Tang Knight became a universe knight. Wu Tang, True Yang Knight said, "Do you know what's going on with Blade River Emperor? I came here with him, and we accepted our inheritance together at the beginning. But after that, I started to live in seclusion and haven't heard anything about him. Do you know anything?" He had become a universe knight, yet Luo Feng hadn't come to congratulate him. He knew something was wrong. Wu Tang Knight had a firm voice. "You don't know anything that's happened since? Then you've really missed a lot." Blade River Emperor stole everyone's thunder by accepting all the battle invitations sent to him by the heirs on this island. Wu Tang Knight started to elaborate from Luo Feng's 620,000 battles to the assassination attempt, and to what had happened recently in 9 remoteness space. True Yang Emperor was beaming at first, but as the story went on, his face took on a ghastly expression, especially when he heard how Luo Feng had nearly been assassinated and was now trapped in an impasse because of Bark Mirror Emperor. "They say Blade River Emperor is Luo Feng," Wu Tang Knight said, smiling at True Yang. "Is Blade River Emperor really your disciple? You don't need to worry about that," True Yang said. "Haha." Wu Tang Knight nodded with a smile. "I need to ask you a favor," True Yang said. "Just say the word," replied Wu Tang Knight. He truly did value True Yang highly. For one thing, they had been confidants before. Plus, he believed True Yang had a bright future ahead of him. Given humans' talents, each invincible emperor that could make a breakthrough and become a universe knight was extraordinary. "I need some information on the dangerous places in the ancestral god secret region," True Yang said. "Especially 9 remoteness space." "You want to go there?" Wu Tang Knight answered. "Are you kidding?" Fierceness flashed through True Yang's eyes. "How could I not go?" "Haha." The ferocious True Yang. Wu Tang nodded. "I've already sent all the information to you through Virtual Universe." True Yang grinned. "I've been in Primal Chaos City for hundreds of millions of years. I wonder if anyone remembers me." After only half a day. After True Yang was in his palace, patiently preparing. "My old friend," he said, "perhaps you feel really lonely after hundreds of millions of years of not being used." Suddenly, a black staff appeared in True Yang's hands, and there were 2 golden hoops on each end of the staff. The staff looked like a simple antique, which was a treasure True Yang had obtained when adventuring in the universe long ago. It had remained by his side through countless adventures, and its killing power had helped make him an invincible emperor. "My disciple treats me as his family," he said. "I couldn't have become a universe knight without him. This Bark Mirror Emperor dared to bully my disciple. As such, how can I spare him? A special life form, skilled at soul attack and inspection." True Yang suddenly became aggressive. In the past, he had roamed the universe, killing countless fighters to become an invincible emperor. He had lived in seclusion for so long that many of the undying of his generation had died. I've created 3 pinnacle techniques during the past few 100 million of years. Now that I'm a Universe Knight, I'll try them on you first." Madness filled True Yang Emperor's eyes. He had provoked Universe Knights before and had survived. He was born to be reckless. His disposition grew savage. After an eternity spent in Primal Chaos City, the real True Yang was back. True Yang flew out of his palace and teleported to the spring portal in front of the palace of the guarding beast god and entered the secret region. A Universe Knight could teleport over 1,000 light years. In less than half a day, True Yang arrived at Rock Island in 9 remoteness space. "I'll wait here." True Yang sat at the apex of a mountain with his legs crossed. "Based on the information Wu Tang gave me, the heirs adventuring here will often come back to Rock Island and rest. So when Bark Mirror Emperor comes back..." True Yang closed his eyes. He was like a tiger, relaxed yet ready to pounce and kill at any moment. Under Rock Island and at the bottom of 9 remoteness ocean, in another world, Luo Feng fled helter-skelter, doing his best just to stay ahead of the army by moving as quickly as possible. 3 shadows flashed in the sky and stopped. They were the noble prince and his 2 Universe Knights. Both of the Universe Knights had red skin and bloody horns. Coldness flashed in the prince's eyes. "We still haven't found this foreign invader, even after all this time. Your Highness," the lanky Universe Knight said, "our 9 remoteness world is vast, and that intruder must constantly be fleeing from us. Perhaps he's far away by now. It could take some time to find him." "Some time? How long?" The prince frowned. "I'll give an order now. In my territory, each city shall designate half of its soldiers to search for the intruder from another race. Each of them will connect to the virtual world, and if anyone finds him, they will alert me right away. And all the soldiers must remain connected to the virtual world with their minds. Being disconnected means death at the hands of that intruder." Each prince was in charge of 1 territory, and they were the only leaders of their territories respectively. The prince gave an order to all the armies under him through the virtual world. A great number of Undying Warriors and Sector Lord level warriors flocked to the sky and flew out in different directions. Each of the warriors was responsible for 1 area. "Cert. Cert. Cert. Quickly. Go. Search the undying intruder." The creatures in 9 remoteness world were special, as they all had red bodies and bloody horns. They were high-powered life forms with great talents. Like golden horned beasts, they became sector lords automatically as they matured. However, their life level was the same as humans, as they didn't have talent techniques. Since everyone could become a sector lord when they became adults, sector lords were common in the cities, yet compared to humans, the race had a very small population. Howl! Howl! All the indigenous warriors were baying with excitement. They were distributed everywhere across the sky. Some of them used world projection, some used law domain, and some even used undying power inspection. In short, they were trying anything they could think of to search for Luo Feng. 9 remoteness world was not very large, yet Luo Feng hadn't seen even a single member of the race. After more than 10 days fleeing, Luo Feng finally ran into the first searcher. While hiding beneath a lake, Luo Feng looked up and saw a bloody shadow flying quickly through the sky. At the same time, an undying power swept across the lake. Luo Feng hid himself with the microdetector. He looked above and thought, "Humph, you think you can find me with such simple undying power inspection? Not while I've got the most advanced microdetector I can afford." However, as the undying power passed over Luo Feng, it suddenly stopped. "No, I'm found." Luo Feng realized immediately. How could I be found? The bloody shadow in the sky wheeled around sharply, looked down, and grew excited. "Intruder," it wailed. Luo Feng didn't have the luxury to ponder how he had been found. He flew out of the water, shook his wings, and shot across the sky like a beam of silver light. "Intruder. I found the intruder," the undying warrior screamed as it flew after Luo Feng, but it was being left farther and farther behind. He immediately reported it through his virtual world. "Haha, I found him. This intruder thought I couldn't find him just because he used a detector. Haha. In our 9 remoteness world, my undying power is combined with 9 remoteness world energies, and I can distinguish all creatures outside of my race. Even Universe Knights cannot escape us once they are here." Luo Feng was terrifically fast, and he soon flew out of the undying warrior's sight. How could I have been found? Luo Feng was bewildered as he flew. Even invincible emperors can't find me when I turn my detector on. Bark Mirror Emperor found me because of his extraordinary inspection skills, but this was only an ordinary undying creature of this indigenous race. How did he find me? I'm in trouble. Big trouble. Luo Feng knew peace was no longer an option. Indeed, at that moment, the prince raced toward the area with his 2 universe knights the moment he got the news, and he arranged some undying warriors and universe knights to stop Luo Feng. In the territory that the prince controlled, the undying warriors and sector lord warriors were distributed everywhere, searching for Luo Feng. As a result, even though the prince had ordered them to encircle and suppress Luo Feng, it would take a long time for all the warriors to gather and arrive. Got to get out of here, thought Luo Feng. The army might be scattered among many places. They're probably trying to encircle me, but it might take them a long time to get here. I might still get away if I hurry. Luo Feng cast Shi Wu Wing and started to fly rapidly, becoming a streak of silver light. I must take advantage of the time and get as far from them as possible, he said under his breath. I must not allow myself to be encircled. Otherwise, I'll be doomed. A great number of indigenous warriors gathered from all directions while Luo Feng tried to escape from their dragnet. On the second day, Luo Feng ran into 3 indigenous warriors consecutively. 2 of them were undying warriors while 1 was a sector lord. Luo Feng's spiritual force entered that sector lord warrior, but all Luo Feng discovered there was a crystal. An energy life, he realized. Like Mosha body. Soul attack is useless on them. Luo Feng glanced at the indigenous sector lord warrior, knowing he wasn't able to manipulate him. He didn't want to waste time killing him, so he shook his wings and flew away. The indigenous sector lord warrior was perplexed. He didn't kill me. He immediately reported it through the virtual world. I found the intruder. I found the fighter from another race. On the second day, Luo Feng encountered 3 indigenous warriors. On the third day, 12. On the fourth day, 21. On the fifth day, he encountered 52 indigenous warriors. As time passed by, the scattered indigenous warriors were continuously gathering, giving Luo Feng a stronger and stronger sense of crisis. But he couldn't do anything about it. The enemies knew his whereabouts. But on the 6th day, something strange happened. He only ran into 1 indigenous warrior. The same thing happened on the 7th day and all the way up to the 12th day. Something's wrong, Luo Feng said. The natives had been tracking me for the past couple of days. They were encircling and suppressing me. The other day, 11 undying fighters tried to team up and kill me. Why have they all disappeared now? Luo Feng sensed a storm coming. He was caught like a rat in a trap. Things were serious this time. In the sky above the mountain valley, the noble and elegant prince and his 2 universe knight servants stood in the sky. I didn't expect that foreign undying fighter to be so good at escaping, the prince said, smiling. The undying fighters from my race can't even catch him. It seems we need to treat him like a universe knight. Your Highness, the dragnet is almost complete, the thin universe knight said respectfully. The 9 generals are all in place and awaiting your orders. Soon the army will capture him. That intruder has no chance to run away. Don't rush. I'll go there first. The prince smiled. I'm curious about this powerful undying fighter. It'll be a pity to let the generals kill him. I'll do it myself. Yes, Your Highness, the 2 universe knights answered with respect. Go, the prince ordered. Su. They flew directly to the dragnet circle. Even the superior prince didn't have any universe knights to serve him. 9 generals were the extent of his influence. Fortunately, it was safe for him in 9 remoteness space. Thus, he could send all the generals there. The native warriors must be preparing to besiege me, said Luo Feng. He stood at the edge of a swamp and frowned. There are probably multiple waves of them. Even if I manage to break through the first wave, the rest of the warriors will draw closer to me. There might even be some teams led by universe knights. Luo Feng had seen indigenous universe knight warriors before. Even Bark Mirror Emperor would have to run from them. I'll be doomed if I run into a native warrior at the universe knight level. Luo Feng frowned. Execute the body plan. Su. 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 9 figures showed up around Luo Feng. All of them were from other races. Master of Master, they said in unison, saluting Luo Feng. Turn into me, Luo Feng ordered. Yes, Master. All the undying slaves had different forms of godly bodies, and all of them transformed their shapes into that of Luo Feng. The only difference was their auras. Undying fighters could transform their shapes, although, if they were too large, their strength would be undermined. But that didn't matter to Luo Feng. As for different auras, only a few of the indigenous fighters had seen Luo Feng, and it was almost impossible for the entire army to recognize him. Follow my lead, Luo Feng ordered. You're number 1, and you're number 2. You two will move first. With that, Luo Feng initiated his plan. His slaves also had slaves, especially ordinary undying fighters, and official level ones. Luo Feng didn't mind losing 9 of them if that was what it took to get out of here. Yes, slave number 1 and slave number 2 followed, flying away. Luo Feng's plan depended on the 9 decoys luring the indigenous warriors to change their plan. Just as he was executing his plan, he received a message from the world of glory. The message was simple: True Yang Knight is fighting the Northern Territory Alliance. Luo Feng nearly jumped out of his skin. True Yang Knight. My teacher became a Universe Knight? And he's fighting the Northern Territory Alliance. How is my teacher fighting Northern Territory Alliance? Bark Mirror Emperor came to mind. Although Luo Feng was still carrying out his escape plan, it would take him 2 to 3 days to finish that. He spared a bit of his mind to connect to the world of glory. In the open-air square of the world of glory. Again, Luo Feng's appearance drew the attention of the other heirs. He went to where the Hong Alliance was gathered. What happened? Luo Feng said down and looked at Cha Man Emperor, Lili Emperor, and Thousand Rain Emperor. They're fighting. Thousand Rain Emperor said, excited. It's madness. True Yang Knight is impressive. Cha Man Emperor said. His time in seclusion has made him furious. Now that his finally broke out, his thrilling. Thrilling, indeed, Lili Emperor said. Really thrilling. Come on, tell me what happened. Luo Feng was totally lost. True Yang Emperor became a Universe Knight? And what's his issue with Northern Territory Alliance? They all looked at Luo Feng. Rumor had it that Luo Feng was Blade River Emperor, and if that was true, it was understandable why Blade River Emperor cared about True Yang Knight so much. True Yang Emperor became a Universe Knight around half a month ago, Cha Man Emperor said. After that, he left Borhinia Island. We don't know where he went, but now we presume he went to 9 Remoteness Space. 9 Remoteness Space? Luo Feng's heart missed a beat. Yes, it happened today, Cha Man Emperor said with thrill. True Yang Knight and Bark Mirror Emperor began doing battle on Rock Island. True Yang Emperor defeated Bark Mirror Emperor, Thousand Rain Emperor said. Can you believe that? Bark Mirror Emperor was almost killed. And he survived only by summoning a great being from his Northern Territory Alliance. And his name is Wan Feng Knight. Wan Feng Knight is a sub-member of the Ancestral God School, Lili Emperor said. He's powerful. It was him, said Luo Feng. Other than candidate prophets and candidate deified generals, only high achievers on the path of Beast God inheritance, those who had at least completed the 5th level inheritance, were qualified to be sub-members of the Ancestral God School. Shi Luo Duo, who had completed the 6th level inheritance, was a Universe Overlord. Wan Feng Knight, although not yet a Universe Overlord, was pretty close. And then? Luo Feng asked nervously. True Yang Emperor pulled no punches, Cha Man Emperor said excitedly. After almost killing Bark Mirror Emperor, he started to fight Wan Feng Knight. But Wan Feng Knight is a sub-member of the Ancestral God School. True Yang Knight is not his match. He fled from Wan Feng Knight and retreated back to Borhinia Island. He successfully retreated? Luo Feng said, feeling relieved. Yes, Cha Man Emperor said, nodding. When True Yang Knight was still an emperor, he fought with Universe Knights, and he was able to survive. He's good at escaping. I heard that Bark Mirror Emperor is much slower than True Yang Knight and couldn't even get away. If Wan Feng Knight hadn't arrived when he did, Bark Mirror Emperor would have died. Luo Feng was amazed. His teacher was always so low-key. He had been hiding in Primal Chaos City for hundreds of millions of years, stuck at the final step. Little did others expect that he might be even faster than Bark Mirror Emperor after becoming a Universe Knight, as well as being astoundingly aggressive. Luo Feng was happy for his teacher. Impressive, he said. My teacher can resist Bark Mirror Emperor's talent technique. Luo Feng was curious and exhilarated about that fight. He connected to the virtual universe and got in touch with his teacher. In an exclusive area in the virtual universe. Each Universe Knight of the human race was granted a section of space. This one was a floating golden mountain. The apex of the golden mountain was covered with ice and snow. Flames burned beneath the mountain, while in the middle lived countless black plants. They managed to grow tenaciously despite being constantly burned. Luo Feng showed up, smiled, and shouted, "Teacher." True Yang Knight was sitting in his palace and drinking while wearing golden armor. Haha. Come here, my disciple, True Yang Knight called to Luo Feng. Drink with me. I'm so joyful. So joyful. Luo Feng walked to his teacher without saying anything. Disciple, do you know why I'm so joyful? True Yang Knight looked at Luo Feng. Why? Luo Feng asked. Is it because of your recent battle? I expected to beat Bark Mirror Emperor easily, yet I was severely injured by that WN Feng Knight. 54% of my godly body was gone. Why would I be joyful of that? True Yang Knight gritted his teeth. Luo Feng was curious. Then why are you so joyful, teacher? This video will end here.